Welcome back here. Another edition of the Down and Back with CornDoug. This week, we'll touch on a bit. I had that little earlier video this week about the ACL International Invitational virtual one. So we had some time to kind of calm down a bit, and it's, hey, it is what it is. Scott threw great all tournament long, and like I told kind of our guest here, Colby, off air, I think I lost to him 3 times on Monday night. So he's a guy that's going to be up and coming. He's going to be challenging some pros if he can get the chance to get in to see them. So all in all, it was a great event. Todd did a great job. Yeah, I had some issues with the final, but other than that, just everything went through flawlessly. All the European guys I've talked to, they all loved it. They would all do it again. So just great job. Just my issue with the final is whatever. They're all still friends with all the guys. I just issues, I guess, but whatever. So wait for the end of the show here. We'll be talking about we got probably starting in a couple of weeks of a new contest coming on for coming up 1 year. I've been doing this show. I posted the first show there earlier in the week on the Facebook page. You can check that out. I had no idea what I was thinking, and I'm way more views now than I actually thought I was going to get. So thanks everyone for that. But just like I said, a couple weeks we're going to announce a contest coming up that it's one that you will want to get on because you're not going to get a chance to get some of this stuff again, possibly. So without further ado here, we'll bring in the guest. He's been talked about before on the show. We'll welcome Colby Usry to the Down and Back.
Hey, how you doing, Doug?
Not too bad. So like I said,
come on your show.
We've talked in the past, and like I said, you were referenced with my first live guest being Robbie Graham. Talked about how great you are at throwing, and just even more a great guy you were too. So I was gonna say, finally, almost we're 10 months, I guess, away from actually getting you on the show.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to be here, Doug. Honestly, when I first got mentioned across the broadcast from Robbie, and I've commented on there, I've said there ain't nobody in Canada gonna know who I am, and you commented back, "Oh, we know who you are." I'm like, whoa, that just blew my mind that there are people in Canada that know who this South Georgia redneck is that throws bags. That's crazy. So I'm honored to be on your show.
Yeah, we do follow our cornhole in the States because you guys are the pros down there. We're trying to aspire to get to your level, so we do keep an eye on all of you guys down there.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, you're not too far off from what I've seen out of Scott Sullivan, man. He was throwing great considering the conditions he had, man. I got to tip my hat to that guy because I don't know if I could have thrown that well in those conditions.
Exactly. Yeah, he throws a double slick bag too, and to see those bags kind of just hammer down and stop completely was just it was rough to see. So, but yeah, like he's tough. I think I've beat him once in 2 years, and that was in a blind draw tournament. So it was like my guys at the other end were the ones that really I just had to hold him. The other guy at the other end got all the points, but. He's a tough guy. He's mentally tough. If that it can be a thing in cornhole. But if you've seen some of his other videos, like one video, his neighbor was cutting the grass, another neighbor was cutting down a tree. It was like he always had some sort of machinery going around him just as soon as they go to start throwing, and it's just crazy.
Honestly, that'll help you in the long run with distractions like that because it's such a mental game and you've got to keep your focus. And if you've got outside distractions that you practice around or you play around constantly, it just only betters you in the long run. But to be honest with you, Scott sounds like to you like Noah Wooten is to me. The past 2 conferences, he's the one that put me out, and we didn't get to play our 3rd conference. And I said I was going to beat him, but because it just hurt. It grinded me so bad because he beat me the first conference. He put me out, and the final score was 21-19. And then conference number 2, I think he put me out, and his final score was 21-20. And I looked around. Then I said, "You're not going to beat me to third conference." I said, "No way. I've been this close." I said, "There's no way you're putting me out on the third one." And then COVID hit, and well, I
Yeah.
guess I just got to wait till next season.
Well, I'm gonna say with Noah, you're probably a little better than I am with Scott, because Scott, it's usually like 21-2, 21-3, and the one time I did beat him, it was like 21-20. So it was, yeah, it gets frustrating.
Yes, it does, and especially now that he knows that daggone flop shot. Oh, it just makes you sick knowing that he can throw it, and then it's to you. I mean, you every now and then you'll get lucky and flop one over, but you can't do it like he can. He's got it down pat. That's all I can say. He's
Yeah,
got it down pat.
we have one guy up here. Actually, my regular partner's father comes out to play, and every shot of his is a flop shot. It's been like that since he started playing 2 years ago. So we've always had a flop shot up here. We just call it the Dicky roll, because his name is Dicky, so we just call it the Dicky roll. And it's just you see them do it, and you're like, oh, like, you got to build that wall like eight, try and get like 8 bags high so you can't roll it over.
That kind of reminds me of a little local guy, and down here, Walmart has rollback special, so
Yeah.
they call it the Bob Jones rollover special.
Well, exactly.
He can do. It's unreal how they're doing it. Because I come from a time where we threw suede and duck cloth bags, and you had to throw them so hard and so flat, and now people are just with the new bags that are out. I mean, they're just doing all kinds of crazy things now with them, and it's just unbelievable what they can do with them.
Oh, exactly. That's like the same way we started with the suede and the duck cloth up here, and then just to see that bag. I don't know if I want to call it an explosion, but just now there's like 1,800 different companies, and 4 times that amount of bags that are out there to choose from. It's gone crazy, and then with the prices, it's like I've said before. Some of them are worth more than gold.
Yes, yeah, they are, and it's only, in my opinion, what I think, it's only about to get even higher, because with the new rules that are going to come into effect and the ACL taking 15% gratuity out, oh man, I know the bag manufacturers are not going to, they're not going to take away what they're already making profit off their $50 and $60 set of bags. They're just going to add to the price just so that they can pay that 15% back to the ACL. So
Yep.
I can see bags now. They're going to be a 4-bag set now. They're going to cost $100, and which, don't get me wrong, what Stacy and Trey are doing with the sport, it's gone farther than I ever imagined it could ever get. I used to tell people all the time. I said, it's going to be on TV one day. It's going to be there. Watch what I tell you. And they did it. And now with all the sponsorship and how much prize money they're getting, and like Jamie Graham, I never imagined that there would be a tournament that you could go to and play in several divisions and end up coming home with $21,000. That's just unreal.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, that's almost like a full-time job for some people if they get a year.
Exactly.
Right? It's like, wow, that's for just a weekend's worth of work.
Yes. One weekend and have a whole year's worth of salary.
Yeah. Like, I know when you talk about being on TV, we've only had it on TV up here twice. So it seems like whenever ESPN brings the Ocho back, we actually get to see Cornhole on TV. So like I said, we've only had it twice, and I know for us, we see that jump in people checking out our Facebook, checking out any kind of stuff, or even coming out to a league night. And it's like, if we can just get it on more up here, then because really, you guys had the boom down there where now everyone knows it, everyone's playing it. But up here, people are still thinking, this is just a game we play at the trailer or at the cottage. You don't go and actually like play the game for being serious, right? But it's like, no, come on out and try it.
Well, all I can say is, Doug, is just give it time. I can remember 6 years ago when I started playing this game, it right here around the house, I got invited to come over eventually and play a benefit tournament at Moose Lodge. First ever tournament ever played in, and actually won the tournament, which that's what got me hooked into it. And then I can remember 3-4 months down the road, oh, here's another tournament. Oh, okay, let's go play. Now, if I wanted to, within a 2-hour drive, I could play every night of the week. With pretty much the exception of Sunday, I can play every night of the week. And it's gonna catch on. I promise you. It does not. It's not gonna one of the things that happens overnight. But you know, hey, Rome wasn't built in a day, and
Oh no.
neither was cornhole up to this league size.
Yeah, no, we've got a. We can. I'm thinking now we can probably play. I can probably play here Monday to Thursday night regularly within an hour's drive of here. But some of our other leagues are only getting like 10 or 12 people out to a blind draw night, right? So it's getting that there bigger. But like I know for myself, I started playing back 2011 when I was down in North Carolina, and then coming back here, nobody played it. And then finally, I seen that there was a tournament coming up here uh, for a men's kind of health benefit. And I said to my buddy, I was like, "Hey, you're coming to be my cornhole partner." And he's like, "I'm gonna do what?" You know, it's that. I was like, "No, come try it." And now he's my partner. He was like the number one player up here, but he was just like, and people up here get upset with him because he's like, "I'm just coming out here for fun. This is just a fun night out." And he's almost unstoppable. I'm glad that he's my partner because he just carries me the whole time.
Yes, yeah. And speaking of partners, and new people playing, I really like how I don't like to sit there and watch so much as the pros play all the time. I like to see these new, young and up and comers. I like to see these people that I think, oh, this is the person that's going to give Jamie Graham or Trey Birchfield or Derek King. This is somebody that's going to eventually give them a run for their money. Uh, like for instance, over in Savannah area, over here in Georgia, Tucker Steels. The boy is. He's got no fear. It seems like he's got ice water in his veins, and I don't know if y'all heard about it, Doug, up yonder in Canada, but he was out in me, him, Noah, and another fellow, a friend of ours, Freaky Godfrey from Georgia. We were all out in Missouri at the Regalia. He played in singles and had to play Jamie Graham first round out of singles in the main bracket, and he beat Jamie, and then he had to turn around and play Matt Guy, and he beat Matt Guy. And
Wow.
we're all like, "What? You did, huh?"
Yeah.
Of course, he met his demise at Ryan Windsor, but to sit there and to beat two goats like that, Jamie and Matt back to back, just shows a lot. I mean, and those are the people I like to watch. Is like Tucker and my partner that I'm planning on playing later on the whole season with, as much as I can, Anderson Glenn out of Valdosta. I really think he is going to shock the world once everybody gets to knowing his name and follows him on Facebook and sees his live feeds, because the short time he's playing, I've been playing, like I said, for over 6 years now, and right now he's been playing for right at a year. He gives me a run for my money every time I play him, and it's just I'll squeak by him, but that's all I do is just squeak by because he's right there. He's nipping at my heels, and it's not gonna be long before I'm gonna be losing to him, and I'm gonna be like, "Dang boy, now you're gonna make me step up my game."
Oh,
But I just
and that's the thing.
go
There's
ahead.
so many young players that it's just like, come on, give us old guys a chance to actually do something, right? Because I look back to I was down at the ACL Finals there in 2018 when I was down in Cherokee, and my partner Corey and I we when we get into doubles, I now know that we're now like the first notch in the post for Luke Johnson because we had to play him and Ryan their first game after me watching Luke throw, for like 4 days prior to that, and it's like, how old is this kid? Like he's just great, and same with seeing like Dalton McClem down there, and like to now hear how old he is now, and it's like that was like 2 years ago, and he's like was showing people up then. So it's just there's just so many young players.
Yes, yes. And I've sat there and I've talked to people about this many times. I look around and I tell them, look, I'm glad I'm playing the advanced singles. I said, the one division I don't want to play in is juniors. I said they're fearless. I said I couldn't hang with them. They just if like Eric Davis. You watch his expressions when he shoots a shot. I'd be scared it's gonna fly off the bag. You know, him doing his rolls and stuff. And I'd be scared it's going off the bag. He acts like just by the look on his face, he has no care in the world, which makes him dangerous, very dangerous.
Yeah, it's a bad expression to use at some point, but I know, like for myself, when I was coaching hockey with younger kids, it was like some of these kids are just too young and dumb to know that they're not supposed to be this good now, right? It's they just don't get it. Like, and I had Mike Morton on the show last week, and he got into talking about how Matthew had that big target on his back, and he wasn't able to overcome it, right? And he had to learn that, and it's like the kid's only 17. Like, he's learning that now. Like, how dangerous is that going to make him a few years from now, or even next year, that he's actually learning this at such a young age with that big target?
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely. To be able to handle the pressure of everybody shooting for you or gunning for you, it's. I, I can remember. I can remember my 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I can remember playing Noah Wooten for the very first time and beating him. I beat him like bad at his first ever tournament. And 2 or 3 months later down the road, I had heard and found out that he pretty much had painted a target on my bag. And next time I seen him, he wanted to play me cash games. And in 2 or 3 months, he had come into the beast that he is now, and he just killed me, murdered me. I handed him, I think, like $60 cash that day because he just beat me 3 games back to back to back. I couldn't hang with him. And it's just that target, I mean, like you're saying, once he beat me the first game, I realized that he had focused so much on wanting to beat me the next time that I had this target, and I just I couldn't think straight. I could just thinking about that. I couldn't think about what I was supposed to be doing. It's like I said at the beginning. It's all about staying focused, and it's a mental game. Most of anything, it's like 80% mental, and you've got to stay focused. You can't even think about the littlest things. You've got to stay focused on each bag, one bag at a time, and where it needs to go, and how you need to throw it. I mean, that's all there is to it. Can't get sidetracked.
No, and that's what makes we talked about Jamie Graham. That's what makes his run the other week so much more impressive, was because that target was huge with the amount of stuff he had coming in, all the talk about him being number one. That was like, I don't think you could have got a bigger target down there that week, and he still overcame that.
Yeah. Oh yes. It's props to Jamie. Props to Jamie. I just hope that one day I can be where he's been. I don't care to be where he's at. I just care to be where he's been. And that would be a great accomplishment for me, honestly. I've actually had the pleasure of playing against him. He is very, very tough. I've only beat him one time, and the 3 times I've played him, and the other 2 times it was 21-15, and he's relentless. I mean, I think one game I had a 13-0 lead on him. He just never gave up, never. And there's a YouTube video right now. If anybody hasn't seen it, go watch it. It's Jamie Graham playing Bobby Morris Jr. at the North Carolina State Championship Juniors Division. Bobby Morris Jr. has Jamie Graham 20-0, and Jamie comes back and wins 21-20. He never gives up, and it's a true statement to his game. It's a true testament to his game, how relentless he is on wanting to win and be the best.
Well, now talking about the ACL Finals there the other week, you were down there. You got to witness a lot of that stuff in person, right?
No, Doug. I actually was not. I did not go to the finals.
So you had to watch like the rest of us then.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did. I had to sit from home and watch live feeds and cheer on from the distance. Everybody.
Okay. Well, still, going to ask your opinion of what you thought of the kind of changing of the guard. What we've seen was a lot of new names that we hadn't heard before kind of rise up.
Yeah, my cup, she did an amazing job playing against Cheyenne Renner for Women of the Year, Woman of the Year.
Yep.
Amazing job. And I take nothing away from Maya or any of the other new rising stars, but I'll tell you this, Doug, that one thing I noticed about a lot of leads and what I saw, the Worlds this year was a lot different than it had been the past several years. Past several years, the boards have been really, really tacky, super tacky. This year, from what I saw, the exact opposite. They were very fast. I remember watching that Woman of the Year match against Cheyenne and Maya, and Cheyenne's throwing them willows, and they're flying off the back. If she's left or right of the hole, they're gone. They're not even staying on the board. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Is what's the conditions for that week? But like I said, don't take me wrong. Not taking anything away from Maya because
Mm-hmm.
she has to go through a lot of women just to get to where she was at. But
Yep.
I think that had a lot to do with it. Was those board conditions? Seeing a lot of new faces come up out of there. I- but like I said, there's a lot of people that are like that. I know a lot of people that play better on slick boards than tacky boards, and I know a lot of people that throw better on tacky boards than slick boards. And there's a lot of people that'll tell you that they prefer to play this and they prefer to play it that way. It's just trying to be the best, well-rounded player that you can be, and being able to adjust to whatever the boards present themselves to you as, and adjust your game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's interesting you say Maya Cup because coming up in a couple of weeks, Maya Cup will be on the show here to talk about her run. But there was Maya, there was Sarah Cassidy. I guess
Yes,
you may
I
know,
do know Sarah Cassidy.
like for me
Yes, yes,
watching
yes.
her there, like especially there was the finals against Megan Maupin. There, what got
Hmm.
me was that she was on that roll, and then she kind of lost it a bit, but she was able to have enough composure. Just I'm going to put bags on the board. I'm going to give up the 1 or 2 points, and then she got it back, and then she really took over again. Like I thought that showed a lot being on that big national stage for even Rob Tismark said first time, and just being able to handle that.
Yeah, it was very impressive for her to be able to overcome the nerves like that. But I tell you one thing I think that kind of really helped her is where she plays from locally. And what I mean by that is it's like she plays in the Southeast Conference, same conference that I'm from. And then you think in our conference, I can think of three women right now that are tough as nails, and you'll know their names as soon as I say them. Obviously, Cheyenne Renner,
Yep.
Samantha Finley, and Rosie Streaker. And Sarah, where she's at in Florida, which is exactly where all three of those women are from, she plays against them, on a pretty regular basis. And because she probably plays on them on a regular basis, she probably can think back in her head, you know, I beat Sam Finley this one time by this, and oh, I gave Cheyenne a run for her money, and Rosie, you know, and that just instills a confidence in you that this is somebody I've seen play on this national stage and win. I beat them, so why can't I win? You know, it probably did instill some confidence in her, and that's probably one thing that helps out, and it's why I'm so thrilled to be a part of the Southeast Conference because there's so much tough competition, and when you get to where you're beating the big dogs in your conference, it makes you feel good about going out and playing, and you know, gives you a whole new boost of confidence to when you get out there to where you're almost fearless.
Yeah, well, like I've always said, there's your conference, the Southeast, there's the Mid Atlantic, and then you're going to take just the Cleveland area. I think any tournament you go to there is a national tournament, just because of the
Hmm.
the talent that's actually there. It's like that's just scary.
It is, and unfortunately, our Southeast Conference. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show it off right now. I got my WCO shirt on from 2 years ago, where I was a part of the top 16 and played it for our conference cup. And honestly, we had a great team and everything, but I honestly could think of several more people from the Southeast. I was like, man, if we only had this person, or man, if we only had that person, oh my gosh, we'd be such a stellar team. I really hope that the Southeast this coming up season, a lot of these people that don't go to all the conferences or don't travel, they'll go to the conference but don't go to the nationals to earn the points to make top 16 by the end of the season. I hope they come out. I hope they participate because the Southeast has got what it takes. We've got the players to beat out the Carolinas, and we've got to beat out the Mid Atlantic and all of the conferences. It's just getting them all together and throwing amongst them. I mean, honestly, I can think of a stellar 16 Southeast players that would rival the world. Honestly,
Well, I'll say that if there's any of your top 16 that don't make it, or so anyone who should be in the top 16 that doesn't make it, they can be honorary Canadians down there for us because we never have a full squad to do it. So if we can get any help, we'll take it.
I'll send them your way, no doubt.
Yeah, because I think that first year we had 6 players in the Conference Cup, so it was like we knew we were losing right off the bat. So it was just trying to get at least one win in there, but yeah, it was still for us. It was just a great learning experience being around that so many people there. Like I said, I had that experience with Robbie Graham talking with him. I was able to sit down with Timothy Pitcher. It was, just being able to see and learn from those best players there, and then you find out that, yeah, you see them on TV or whatever. They're all people that will just sit down and have a beer. It's
Yes.
it's the way cornhole is.
Yes, it is. And Noah Wooten told me this a while back, and it really helped out with my game. He looked around and he told me he told me that I was good, but that if I wanted to be better, I need to get out more. I need to get out, travel, play. And it wasn't until a couple of months ago that I realized what he was talking about. Is because to play against the pros, the Grahams, the Modlins, the Cambas, all of those, you learn so much just by being there and watching. And then on top of that, just like you said, they'll sit down and have a beer with you. You ask them, hey, you watched me throw. Is there anything you can suggest on what I could do to improve my game, or any tips and everything? 9 out of 10 times, those guys will bend over backwards and tell you, this is what you probably need to work on from what I could sell. Learn how to try to throw this bag, learn how to throw your blockers, stuff like that. It helps so much.
Yep.
I noticed the difference between 2 years ago from 2 years ago to now, and my ranking shows it now too. I think last year I finished 12th in the Southeast Conference, and this year I finished 4th in the Southeast Conference in singles.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Oh, and by the way, Doug, I finally got a set of them Octane bags in.
Okay.
I got them in on trade. Yeah, the Nitro series. I haven't got to throw them very much, but so far from what I could tell, they're pretty nice bags.
Yeah, they're a double slick bag. They're nice. There's a new set boosted that just came out that are they're reverse suede on one side and then almost a game changer material on the other side. They are they're my go-to bag because I always joke on the show here how I was like throwing down in the 30s for deck rounds. Like I couldn't do anything. But with these new boosted bags, I'm throwing into the 50s now. So they've got to be a good bag then because it's not the thrower.
Yes. A bag, finding a bag you like has a lot to do with it. It's a bag you got to be comfortable and confident in throwing. My go-to bag is Reynolds Pro X. I love that bag. I love it more than I used to love Pro Advantage. It used to be my favorite, but now, like I said, Pro X is my all-time favorite. It's my go-to.
I'm going to say start throwing those Nitros. I think you may like them. So, yeah. So we've talked about everything else. Let's talk some more about you. Just what have you had going on? I know we've been kind of shut down in some places, but what's been going on with you?
Well, just finding tournaments here and there wherever I can. Um, Traveling, trying to get out more and meet new people. I've been going into Alabama a lot more, playing over there, down into Florida. I'm just trying to venture out a lot more this year. 2 years ago, when you met Robbie Graham, I was Robbie Graham's ACL Pro partner, and I took this past season off, and I'm here to announce now that at the end of this season, I plan on going back pro. I want to play through the gauntlet and earn my way. I don't want to apply in. I want to play and earn my way in. And I plan on going back at the end of this season, back for being ACL pro for the next following season. Um, which, with that being said, I'm open for sponsorship. Anybody willing to follow along, watch me grow my game. Like I said, I finished fourth at the end of this season, Southeast Conference, so it's not too shabby. But like I said, at the end of this year, I'm gonna plan on going back pro again in the ACL. Uh, but the main goal this season is travel out more. There's so many regionals around that not too far of a drive. Within 3-4 hour deal. I want to venture out. I want to play around all different kind of places. I've been trying to do that now with COVID. Everything with COVID's got everything shut down, so we don't have
Mhm.
as many local around tournaments anymore. So you've got to travel to go and find a tournament these days. So I've met a lot more people. I've got a lot more people following me on Facebook and everything like that. But so far this year, everything's it's leading into a very good season for me next year. I'm actually looking forward to playing.
Yeah, we've had a couple. We've did what? We've did I think 3 nights now where we're back. We've been doing just an invitational. Now we're opening it up to our whole group of players because for some of us we were in Cleveland the night it got all shut down and we hadn't played since until like a couple weeks ago, like with anyone really live. But it's just it's getting back in there because I gotta say, like I said, my deck rounds were brutal. I hated the ghost game. It's just it's that playing with someone else. Getting that person on the other side of the board. That's just it makes it more fun.
It does. It takes your focus to another level. It's so hard to play Ghost and keep your focus and keep interested in it. I know it's because it's just throwing back repeated over and over and over. But when you're throwing against somebody and now they throw a blocker, oh, now I've got a decision: push through it, back block, airmail. It makes the game exciting. It makes it for what we love. Reason why we love the game is the people.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, and that's another thing I noticed that I was glad the game came back for Rock Hill because those first few pro qualifiers back, I think people were still playing the ghost game because everyone was just going hole, hole, hole. There was no, like Timothy Pitcher says, there was no chess. There was no chess. Everyone was just playing checkers, right? There was no
right.
strategy in it. And then it thankfully it did come back because it just showed the strengths of some other people where you can put that blocker up and they can just airmail over top of it all day, right? But it's just it brought back the game that everyone loves to play.
Definitely. And not taking anything away from these people that are very good at ghost games, but there's people that usually are good at ghost games are not good at the chess side, as Pitcher put it. They're
Yeah.
not so good at that. And when it comes down to that in an actual gameplay, those people don't tend to shine as much, you know. But don't get me wrong, ghost game is what made me a lot better person. It helped me get more consistent and being down the middle and sliding in. Because there for a while, my game was rough, but
Well,
it helped out. It helped me get developed to where I was or where I am still. I still play the ghost every now and then, but not as much as I used to.
Well, yeah, and that's thing like the ghost is a valuable tool. That game is a tool, but there's some people would start to use it as a crutch. And I know I've seen there was some guys that were played up here that were like I would see them online playing ghost like 8 games a day in all those tournaments, right? But and they were doing and they were successful at it. But then come to league night playing against someone else. they were getting frustrated because they were used to having that open board, and then you put that bag on there for the block. Now their game is just totally messed up because they don't know what to do. Right? So it's a good thing. So that's why I kind of like seeing where some people are starting to change it up, putting blockers up there and moving around it. But it's just, it's that whole other facet of the game.
Oh yes, definitely. It's just like you said, they're so used to an open board and just sliding it straight down the middle. But as soon as you throw a blocker up there, and then on top of that, if you learn how to curve or to cut, or you can really airmail and you can leave that blocker there, oh, it really messes with them so bad. That's probably one of my favorite shots is the cut shot. I love curving around bags. I've gotten pretty good at it.
I've actually learned that with my new boosted bags. I've been getting that a lot more of those curve shots. I'm like, like I said, it's got to be the bag because it's there's a $2 throw here with a decent bag. So, if it's making me better, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The more you throw it, the more you learn about it, the better it's all you're just gonna get. That's just the way it is. And I guess that's the reason why I fell in love with these Pro X so much, just because I threw Pro Vantage so long and that carpet side material, and it's that same carpet's on the Pro X. The only thing I had to really learn was the new slick side, and to me it was an improvement from the Advantage because the Advantage would tend to on the slick side and in certain conditions slow down and almost become stickier than the carpet side, where the Pro X, the slick side, it never slows down. It's constantly moving. It makes for a more consistent bag, which I really like.
Yeah, before I'd always thrown the slide rights all the time, and so then when Matt up here started getting the Apex, the Octane stuff, I would throw the Apex because it was slightly similar to the slide rights, and now throwing these other with a couple of faster sides on it, it's your game just evolves. So now you've almost got it's like you're bringing a golf bag to cornhole because you got a bag for all these different, situations.
Yeah, it's almost I compare it almost really and truthfully to bowling. I used to bowl in a league on every now and then on a Wednesday night, and I can remember going to the bowling alley and having a dry lane ball, heavy oil ball for different oil lane patterns and everything. And I'd go in there with rolling around a suitcase with like 6 bowling balls in it and stuff. And now I go to a cornhole tournament and I've got just that many sets of bags for whatever the board conditions are. It's basically the same to me in reference.
I think
of course, I'm not a very good golfer, so I couldn't compare it to golf.
I'm way better at cornhole than golf, and I've regressed to cornhole a bit here, but yeah, and it's like and with bringing all those bags here, we got one guy up here, Steve Paul, who we joke about him because he brings all of his bags in a little suitcase, and we keep joking that it's that's in case he does beat his wife that night in the game, that he's not going home, he's already got his clothes packed to go somewhere else.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a local guy we got down here, Ricky Rubinsky. He's almost like a bag collector. I think he's got a bag from every manufacturer of every series of every set, and he's come to tournaments and everything, and he'll pop the trunk on his car, and it's loaded down with bags. I'm like, Ricky, you can't throw all these bags. He says, I know, but I still want them.
It does make me laugh because you see on some of those groups that people will post pictures of they got 80 different sets of bags, and it's like, I think I'm addicted, and I'm like, well, you're in a group called Addicted to Cornhole. I think we already knew that before you posted the picture. Right?
Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So anything else you have coming up? So we know you're looking for sponsors. We know you want to go pro. So if anyone's out there watching, hit Colby up on Facebook. I know you've got. You still running? I know you've got your regular Facebook, and you also got Colby Usry, the ACL Pro. Are you still?
Yeah, so I have a Facebook page, Colby Usry ACL Pro. You can reach me by messenger on either one. Doesn't matter. I'll answer to either one of them. But you know, like I said, I tend to this whole season, I plan on trying to be a lot more active on live feeds, so that way a lot more people can tune in, watch, and see between practice routines, tournaments, everything. I plan on trying to be a lot more active this year. I wasn't so much 2 years ago. Watch why a lot of people don't know who I am still, but I plan on being a lot more active this year on that. And I just ordered a brand new set of boards from Scott Costley at Costley Custom Cornhole. Makes an amazing set of tournament boards. If you don't know about him, look him up. Plain set of tournament boards, just clear coat poly, $135. You can't really beat it. He makes an amazing set, which I'm hoping they'll be ready in next week or so, hopefully.
So for that, with saying that there, I will put a link in the description here to your ACL Pro Facebook account, so people will be able to just click on that and they can get right to you easier than trying to search you out. So we'll do that there to help you out, and I want to thank you for coming on. First of all, just because we've talked about you coming on, and I know you want to get that out there that you're going pro for. I guess what is it now, 2021, I guess. But yeah, it's again, thank you for coming on, and we'll try and get you some help, and we'll check back in later on to see just how you're doing once things do start ramping back up.
Thanks for having me on, Doug. It's been a pleasure.
Well, it may be a first, but it will definitely won't be the last. We will check in on you again.
Oh, definitely. I hope hopefully next time you check in on me, I'll be holding a number one finger up after winning the Southeast Conference Singles Division.
Well, I'm just thinking here for myself, if the borders do open up and I get to go back to Charlotte for a race in my 2 weeks down there, I may have to make a drive down to visit and maybe have some games with you.
No doubt. Call me. I will make time for you, and we will definitely throw.
We'll make a plan to do that. So thanks again for being on, and like I said, we're gonna have you on again and to talk some more cornhole.
Thank you, Doug.
Okay. Colby Usry, another. Robbie Graham told us he was a great guy, and you've just seen it there. So so check out his link for his ACL Pro Facebook account. Will be in the description below, and yeah, check him out. If you got some sponsorship, you want to sponsor someone, check Colby out. He's a great guy, and as you can tell, fourth in the Southeast is nothing to shake your fist at. I'm trying to even just break top 5 up here in Canada, which should be a little easier, but still. So yeah, so that's that for the show. Remember, keep checking in here, checking the Facebook for our 1-year contest, our first anniversary contest. We'll gonna have something special that not many people have. We'll get some Octane stuff to you, and yes, that should be fun. So that's it for another week. Check back on Monday. We'll do the live recap. Maybe we'll even do it again from the undisclosed location of the of our now open time back here. So till next week, check out, there it goes right there. It's coming back in. It might come back around, but I'm still talking. Check out OctaneCornhole.com. All your cornhole needs, get your bags. Colby's going to be trying to throw some nitros to see if he likes those or not. You can get your boosted bags there. Still all the other brands, the Apex, the Whole Shots, the clutch bags. Everything is on there. You can get some cool swag. Get Octane Cornhole Gear shirt like this year. You can get, I'm not sure if Matt's got his hats back. If you need a mask to play, he's going to be having some Octane masks on there, some Octane neck gaiters. Yeah, check him out. He's going to have a whole bunch of stuff. I know that he's in the bunker right now getting all the new bags ready to go, and he's going to have some surprises coming up. So check out Octane. Keep liking the show, give me a thumbs up. If you like what you see, give the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you'll know whenever I go live or whenever there's something on that I've thrown on the page here. So that's it. We're at 45 minutes. That's it for another week. So remember, check out Monday, the live show on Facebook. Well, the live kind of hit from Facebook. And we'll be back with another guest next week, next Friday, here on the Down and Back with CornDoug, presented by Octane Cornhole.